Track 1. My kitchen. My kitchen is my favorite place in the house. It has a large refrigerator, a shiny oven, and a microwave that I use daily. The countertop is spacious so I can prepare meals easily. I keep my plates, cups, and bowls in the cabinet, and my cutting board and knives are always on hand for chopping. After cooking, I always clean the sink and store leftovers in the refrigerator. The stove is where I cook most of my meals, and the dishwasher helps me clean up afterward, making the whole process smooth. Track 2. Baking cookies. Baking cookies is something I love to do on weekends. I begin by mixing the ingredients on the countertop, using a spoon to stir. Once the dough is ready, I roll it into small balls and place them on a tray. The oven is preheated, so I carefully put the tray inside. The smell of fresh cookies fills the air as they bake. After 12 minutes, I take them out of the oven and let them cool on a plate. My family always enjoys the homemade cookies with a cup of milk. Track 3. Making soup. Making soup is a warm and comforting task. First, I fill a pot with water and place it on the stove to boil. As the water heats, I chop vegetables on my cutting board with a sharp knife. Once the water is boiling, I add the chopped vegetables, and the soup begins to simmer. After about 30 minutes, I taste it and add some salt using a measuring spoon. Finally, I ladle the soup into bowls and serve it with fresh bread. It's the perfect meal for a cold day. Track 4. Morning coffee. Every morning, I start my day by brewing coffee. I fill the coffee maker with water and ground coffee beans, then switch it on. While the coffee brews, I boil some water in the kettle for tea. Once the coffee is ready, I pour it into my favorite mug. I like to add a little sugar and milk, stirring it with a spoon. While I sip my coffee, I usually sit at the countertop and catch up on the news. The kitchen feels peaceful in the morning as I prepare for the day ahead. Track 5. Cleaning the kitchen. Cleaning the kitchen is something I always do after cooking. First, I clean the countertop with a cloth to remove crumbs and spills. Then, I load the dishwasher with dirty dishes and pots. Some items, like my favorite knife and cutting board, I wash by hand to keep them in good condition. I wipe down the sink and make sure the cabinet doors are closed tightly. Before finishing, I take out the trash and put everything back in its place. A clean kitchen makes me feel organized and ready to cook again. Track 6. Grilled cheese sandwich. Making a grilled cheese sandwich is simple but delicious. I spread butter on 2 slices of bread and place cheese between them. Next, I heat a pan on the stove and put the sandwich inside. The bread starts to turn golden brown while the cheese melts. I use tongs to flip the sandwich and avoid burning my hands. After a few minutes, I remove the sandwich and place it on a plate. The crispy, gooey sandwich is perfect with a warm bowl of soup for lunch or dinner. Track 7. Preparing a salad. I love preparing fresh salads for lunch. I start by washing the lettuce and vegetables in the sink, using a colander to drain the water. Then, I chop everything into bite-sized pieces on my cutting board with a sharp knife. I place the chopped vegetables in a bowl and add some olive oil, vinegar, and seasoning. Sometimes I also add nuts or cheese for extra flavor. A salad is a healthy, refreshing meal that pairs perfectly with grilled chicken or pasta for a light lunch. Track 8. Cooking pasta. Cooking pasta is a quick and easy dinner option. I fill a pot with water and set it on the stove to boil. Once the water is boiling, I add the pasta and stir occasionally. After about 10 minutes, I check the pasta for doneness and drain it in a colander. While the pasta drains, I prepare the sauce. I add olive oil and garlic to the pan and let it cook for a few minutes. Once everything is ready, I combine the pasta and sauce, serving it with a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. Track 9. Making smoothies. I make smoothies every morning for a healthy breakfast. I start by adding fresh fruit like strawberries, bananas, and blueberries into the blender. Then, I pour in some yogurt and a bit of honey for sweetness. I blend everything until smooth, and the blender does its job in seconds. After blending, I pour the smoothie into a glass and sometimes add ice cubes for extra chill. It's a delicious way to start my day, and I feel energized afterward. Track 10. Boiling eggs. Boiling eggs is an easy and nutritious breakfast option. I fill a pot with water, carefully place the eggs inside, and set the pot on the stove. Once the water starts boiling, I reduce the heat and let the eggs cook for about 10 minutes. Afterward, I remove the eggs and let them cool before peeling them with a peeler. I enjoy eating them with a little salt or pepper on top. Boiled eggs are great on their own or as a topping for salads and sandwiches. Track 11. Toast for breakfast. Toast is my go-to breakfast when I'm in a hurry. I place 2 slices of bread in the toaster and wait for them to turn golden brown. While the bread is toasting, I prepare some fruit or pour a glass of juice. Once the toast is ready, I spread butter on top and sometimes add jam or honey for sweetness. Toast is a simple yet satisfying breakfast, especially when paired with a hot cup of coffee or tea. Track 12. Washing dishes. Washing dishes is part of my daily routine after meals. I start by rinsing the plates and utensils in the sink, then load them into the dishwasher. For items like the knife and cutting board, I wash them by hand. I use dish soap and a sponge to clean everything thoroughly. After the dishwasher finishes its cycle, I unload the clean dishes and store them in the cabinet. I enjoy having a tidy kitchen after each meal. Track 13. Chopping vegetables. When I cook dinner, I always chop vegetables. I place them on the cutting board and use a sharp knife to slice them into small pieces. Whether I'm making a stir-fry or soup, chopping vegetables is an essential step. After chopping, I put the pieces into a bowl and start cooking them on the stove. It's important to keep the countertop clean and organized while preparing ingredients, so I always wipe it down after use. Track 14. Boiling water. Boiling water is essential for many tasks in the kitchen. I fill a kettle with water and place it on the stove to heat. Once the water boils, I use it to make tea, coffee, or even cook pasta. Boiling water is also useful for washing dishes and cleaning the sink. It's a simple but important part of kitchen life, and I rely on it every day for various cooking tasks.
Track 15. Making salad dressing. Making my own salad dressing is easy and flavorful. I mix olive oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper in a bowl. Then, I whisk everything together with a spoon. I usually add garlic, honey, or mustard for extra flavor. Once the dressing is ready, I pour it over my salad and toss everything together. Homemade dressing always tastes better than store-bought, and I love customizing it to my taste. Track 16. Cutting fruit. Cutting fruit is a simple but important task in the kitchen. I start by washing the fruit in the sink, using a colander to drain the water. Then, I use a knife to cut the fruit into small pieces on my cutting board. I enjoy eating fresh fruit as a snack, and it's also great for making smoothies or adding to salads. Fresh fruit is healthy and refreshing, especially on a hot day. Track 17. Washing vegetables. Before cooking, I always wash my vegetables thoroughly in the sink. I use a colander to rinse them under cold water and remove any dirt or pesticides. After washing, I dry the vegetables with a clean towel. It's important to ensure everything is clean before preparing a meal. I chop the washed vegetables on my cutting board and cook them on the stove. Track 18. Making pancakes. Pancakes are a delicious breakfast treat. I mix flour, eggs, and milk in a bowl to create the batter. Then, I heat a pan on the stove and pour the batter in. I wait for bubbles to form before flipping the pancake with a spatula. After a few minutes, the pancakes are golden brown and ready to be served with syrup, butter, or fruit. They're always a hit with my family. Track 19, Making Sandwiches. Making a sandwich is easy and versatile. I start by placing 2 slices of bread on a clean countertop. I spread butter on one slice and add cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce. Then, I place the second slice on top. Using a knife, I cut the sandwich into halves. It's a quick meal, perfect for lunch or a snack. Track 19, Making Sandwiches. Making a sandwich is easy and versatile. I start by placing 2 slices of bread on a clean countertop. I spread butter on one slice and add cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce. Then, I place the second slice on top. Using a knife, I cut the sandwich into halves. It's a quick meal, perfect for lunch or a snack. Track 19, Making Sandwiches. Making a sandwich is easy and versatile. I start by placing 2 slices of bread on a clean countertop. I spread butter on one slice and add cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce. Then, I place the second slice on top. Using a knife, I cut the sandwich into halves. It's a quick meal, perfect for lunch or a snack. Track 19, Making Sandwiches. Making a sandwich is easy and versatile. I start by placing 2 slices of bread on a clean countertop. I spread butter on one slice and add cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce. Then, I place the second slice on top. Using a knife, I cut the sandwich into halves. It's a quick meal, perfect for lunch or a snack. Track 19, Making Sandwiches. Making a sandwich is easy and versatile. I start by placing 2 slices of bread on a clean countertop. I spread butter on one slice and add cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce. Then, I place the second slice on top. Using a knife, I cut the sandwich into halves. It's a quick meal, perfect for lunch or a snack. Track 24, Using the Grater. The grater is a useful tool in my kitchen. I use it to shred cheese, vegetables, and fruits. It's great for adding texture to salads, pasta dishes, or baked goods. I always keep the grater in a drawer near the cutting board, so it's easy to grab when needed. Using a grater can save time when preparing meals. Track 25, Using the Can Opener. The can opener is a necessary kitchen tool for opening canned goods. I use it to open cans of beans, tomatoes, and tuna. After opening the can, I discard the lid carefully to avoid sharp edges. The can opener is reliable and makes opening canned goods easy. Track 26, Preparing Dinner. Preparing dinner is a process that requires planning. I start by choosing the recipe and gathering all the ingredients. I use the countertop to chop vegetables on a cutting board with a knife. I cook the main dish in a pot on the stove and serve everything on a clean plate. Dinner is a time to relax and enjoy a meal with my family. Track 27, Preparing for a Party. When hosting a party, I make sure my kitchen is fully stocked with snacks and drinks. I set up the countertop with bowls of chips, cheese, and fruit. I also make sure to have plates, cups, and glasses ready for guests. The kettle is on standby for anyone who wants tea, and the microwave is used to heat up any party food. Track 27, Preparing for a Party. When hosting a party, I make sure my kitchen is fully stocked with snacks and drinks. I set up the countertop with bowls of chips, cheese, and fruit. I also make sure to have plates, cups, and glasses ready for guests. The kettle is on standby for anyone who wants tea, and the microwave is used to heat up any party food. Track 29, Breakfast Routine. My breakfast routine includes preparing toast in the toaster and boiling eggs in a pot on the stove. I also prepare a cup of coffee with the coffee maker. It's a simple yet satisfying breakfast, and I enjoy sitting down at the countertop to eat before starting my day. Track 30, Snack Time. For a quick snack, I use the blender to make a smoothie. I blend some frozen berries, yogurt, and a little honey. After a few minutes, the smoothie is ready, and I pour it into a glass. It's a healthy and refreshing snack that keeps me energized throughout the day.